heat makers, heat and crack music, crack music.
If you ain't got the dough, they got the dough.
Yes. Best pod in the world, best pod on the World Wide Web. Yeah, I just need to catch up. My name's Eddie Knapp. I got Juan here with me. It's gang time, but you know we setting vibes. Let's rock. New York City, what up? New York City, worldwide, what up? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Nighttime with Napo, what up? Good to see you all.
Yeah, my skin clear, my face low, my eyes green with those pesos. I'm Pitbull and I'm Dago with the hoes like Don Francisco. I'm Live-O and I'm Big Pun. Little Sasson, mix it all around. And bodegas, what you got? Spanish all on my playground. Bulletproof it all, I'm safe now. Why the whole potatoes make it safe and sound? I'ma kick that bone, I'ma take that crown. I'ma still pump, yeah, uptown. Pray to Papa Dios when I'm on that Greyhound. Fucked up nerves, back with a bird. Open sig, I'ma need a bust down.
Yes, sir. Hold on. Let me get my man right. Let me get my man right. Mic check 1 2 1 2. You know we hear the pod. When it's Monday night.
Que la calle bota fuego, fuego, falla, falla, fuego, fuego, falla, falla, fuego, fuego, falla, falla, fuego, fuego. Que la calle bota fuego, fuego, falla, falla, fuego, fuego, falla, falla, fuego, fuego, falla, falla, fuego, fuego. Calienta el diente, 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 calienta el diente. A mí no me compare que yo tengo para comprar la competencia. Yo fui el movimiento entero con su descendencia. Todos los días voy para arriba y tú te desesperas. Y cada vez que subo un piso pito en la escalera, todos los demagogos me lo quito de la vera y como quiera se quieren quedar pegado en la tetera. La calle tiene fuego, la calle tiene falla. Como quiera que la tire, el alma no la falla. Todo el mundo me quiere, yo tengo los chavos y las mujeres me lo lamen como la paleta del chavo. Hasta los demagogos me dan palo. Tú quieres que te mate a tiro, que te mate a palo. Llegan los cheques, llegan los cheques, llegan los cheques, ya, ya. Llegan los cheques, llegan los cheques, llegan los cheques.
My name is Eddie Knapp. This is Nighttime with Napo. This is the official day, and sometimes even Tuesdays, live on YouTube, live on Facebook, live on Twitter. And when I say live, I mean we are live.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live.
I said we're gonna do it live. You know, I like doing the recorded pods. I like doing the official tissue "Hello, Can You Hear Me" pod with Vosky and Christina. I like it. I love it. I want more of it. And we are dropping our 4th episode soon come. But gotta tell you, man, I think I like doing these lives even more. Yesterday we was lit with the battle rap. We had 180 people in this live talking battle rap shit. Now, granted, there was a fist fight that happened, so you know people always run to the drama. But I like the live shows. It kind of just gives us a free reign to chat. And so I think every Monday we're gonna do baseball, and I would like to eventually make this into an official tissue Yankees podcast with me and my brothers Ari and Juan. No Ari tonight, but I have the heartthrob, the Delta God, Juan in the building. How you feeling today, Juan? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You know, I'm always glad to be here. Always showing the love.
No, that is a fact. No, you and you know you're looking good. I appreciate you joining. And you know the only thing that's looking as good as you is the Christmas tree in the back. King, what's good? What's up? You did that yourself?
Yeah, man. You know, I did it with the lights off. That's why it looks like that. I couldn't see.
Kind of how I get dressed.
Nah, you know, I always have a Charlie Brown tree in my house, and then you know, my mom, my friends was like, "Yo, you need to get a better tree." So I was like, "All right, fuck it, let me just get a tree." And then
they were like, "Yo, you a grown ass man. You a grown ass man. Why you gotta put the tree up?"
Bro, I don't got no kids. I live dolo. I mean, I don't need a tree for who I need a tree for. So I just put it up, and then I still didn't finish decorating it, but you know, I just lit it up.
It was good for the pod.
Yeah,
it was good for the pod. Look, yo, and we still haven't put our Christmas tree up. We still have not
See,
put it.
there it is.
Yeah, we trash. We trash. We are trash in the Napo household. But we're gonna get it done this week. We're gonna get it done this week. Hey man, look, we got 3 kids. There's a lot going on. It's a lot going on in the Napo household, man. We haven't gotten it done, but we are gonna get it done.
Next year, you got to get it done before the winter meetings is over, man. That got to be the tradition.
That's a fact. Nah, yeah, I feel like I would like to get it done right after Thanksgiving. Like I'm that head ass with it. I'm that head ass with it. Like I want to get right into the Christmas. But and I keep telling my wife like I want the big, like the shout out boy Raul, like the big fucking inflatable Santa and like my neighbors. I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna send it to the group chat. They going crazy with the LED lights with the red and the green and the fucking snowflakes that are just flashing on the house. It looks super fire. And my dumb ass, I just got like little lights in front of the house and a snowman in front of the door.
Putting you to shame.
Now we got killed. Oh, we getting killed out here. We are getting killed out here.
Like
Next year, though. Next year, watch. Nah, next year I'm gonna have the inflatable Santa. I'm gonna do the whole thing. I'm gonna have the Grinch. I'm gonna have the Grinch with a gun. I'm gonna have Santa pulling up. Like it's gonna be crazy. Nah, we going nuts.
All right, there's noted. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it working.
Nah, that's a fact. And you have given me inspiration, man. Now if Juan could go in and get in the Christmas spirit, I have absolutely no reason not to get in the Christmas spirit. So shout out to that. And that's good pod decor. That is good pod decor. You look like you ready to rock. So all right, man. So you ready to talk some shit? What we talking about? What we are talking about today?
I mean, the biggest news of the day, what it is.
The biggest deal of the day, the biggest deal in sports history, right? That mama, there goes that man. Shohei Ohtani. We get right to the shits here at nighttime with Napo. And yo, Juan, I told Ani, we gotta think of a Yankee themed name for this show, and then we're gonna put some branding around it, so it's not just Napo and all that dumb shit. But I definitely want to get some Yankee theme. But fuck all of that. Shohei Ohtani, the biggest deal in sports history. So he signed with the Dodgers, right? And so everybody was kind of going crazy. Where's Shohei gonna sign, right? And so a lot of people were like, he's staying on the West Coast. We know he want to stay on the West Coast. And then right around a few days before he signed, there started to be rumblings. Hey, maybe the West Coast is not the only place he wants to go. Toronto got leaked. Toronto got placed in the mix, and Toronto ultimately got left at the altar. Good for them. I don't like them. I don't like their fan base. I hate that team, that organization. I think they suck. But I was very happy to see them get left at the altar. But ultimately, the news came down, and it was like Shohei Ohtani signing with the Dodgers, and that wasn't the shocking part. The shocking part was the deal: 10 years, $700 million. Sheesh. $700 million for Shohei Ohtani, and he's only a one-way player next year. But we expect him to pitch in 2025. We expect him to pitch and be pretty damn good on both sides of the ball for the majority of his contract. But I want to pull up some tweets here. Let me get to and of course now I'm having a hard time getting to my bookmarks. Hold on one second. Let's get to the bookmarks. Where are the bookmarks? So 700 million for Ohtani, right? And if that was not big news enough, which we felt like, holy shit, this is huge news, we got a passing bomb. We got a passing bomb, and the news came out today. Hold on, big dog. $700 million over 10 years. However, as Jeff Passan reports, Shohei Ohtani's $700 million contract calls for him to be paid only $2 million a year for the next 10 seasons. I'm going to read that again because that sounds stupid to me when I'm reading it. Shohei Ohtani's $700 million contract calls for him to be paid only $2 million a year for the next 10 years, with $680 million deferred until the end of the deal, sources confirm to ESPN. So the CBT hit on the contract is going to be around $46 million, which is a huge discount for LA. Passing goes on to right. The structure of the deal first reported by Fabian, whatever this dude's name is, no disrespect, but you can see it on the screen there. Multiple people involved said, and so here's the wild thing. Ohtani proposed this structure to, I guess, to all the teams that he was speaking with, right? And the idea is that his off the field earnings are significant enough that, hey, I could take the short up front, wait for the big bag down the road because I've got all these other bags that I could collect to supplement my lifestyle and my income. And so what I'm leaving on the table, with my player salary, I'm gonna grab when I'm out, doing commercials and all types of other shit. So, what do we think about this one? First, him signing with the Dodgers, I don't think that's a shot. But then, get into to your thoughts on the structure of the deal and how that just kind of came about.
So first, I wanted to I know you I thought he was going to the Dodgers from jump, just because it's in the West Coast. They have the money, and they didn't really have a lot on the books with just mostly Betts and Freeman. So I predicted that. I thought it was the Dodgers and then the Cubs, and the Blue Jays came out of nowhere. And my big thing first is basically Ohtani sent out a message saying that if any team publicized that they were talking with him, he wasn't going to consider them. So he blackballed everybody out of I don't know. I think he did a discredit to the game, because he's the biggest athlete, the most popular player in Major League Baseball, and they just had the winter meetings, and Major League Baseball couldn't take advantage of him, their best player right now, because he's the best player. If he's healthy, he's number one player. They couldn't take advantage of him, basically publicizing him and making him the brand, because he didn't want it to. So, and then he goes and leaks other information about the whole Toronto deal. We don't know if it's to drive up the price to the Dodgers or anything like that, but it's kind of some shady shit. Bro, if you didn't want any publicity, then you shouldn't never leak that. Those are the rumors, quote unquote. Anyways, I kind of always thought he would go to the Dodgers. I'm glad he didn't go to the Blue Jays, because they're in the same division as the Yankees. But even though we own him when he faces us, but I wasn't surprised with the amount, meaning 700. I thought it would be 650 to 700, which is crazy because it's a lot of money. I thought it would be at least 12 years. I didn't think they would get it for 10. So I was damn, $70 million a year is it's crazy bread. And then when they broke down the money, he's getting paid $2 million a year for the next 10 years. So right now he'll be the 17th lowest paid player on the Dodgers on the 25-man roster, which is crazy considering he's he's probably the best player there. So, and then after that, he has all his deferred money, which he came up with this plan. He presented to the Dodgers. So of course they're going to say yes. So he presented this to the Dodgers. So that they can have more bread in the bank to get better players. So to get more players.
So I'm glad you said that. I don't want to cut you off, but did he present this to the Dodgers? Right? I know his team is getting credit for it, and they should, right? Because the structure of this deal is amazing. But I'm not so sure that Ball and Ohtani production, because apparently, and I'm going to pull up a tweet here. Shout out to Meg, who is a Yankee fan there at Velocity by Volpe. Shout out to her. And so her point here is Ohtani isn't the only Dodger with a deferred contract. And then she makes the joke it's going to be one big ass Spirit Halloween location come 2025, right? But if you look at this,
who's there?
But if you look at this, hold on, if you can see that.
Is that Mookie Betts?
That, my friend, is Mookie Betts. And then you can see here, he signed a 12-year, what is it? 12 years, what, 300 some odd $1 million deal. But the the deferred money, $115 million in deferred money between 2023 and 2024. So that's 115 million deferred for bets, 680 million deferred for your man Ohtani. So the Dodgers are in for, I mean, they've got a $795 million deferred bill that they will be playing two players who are no longer on their team starting 2033 and beyond, right? And so that kind of makes me think that the Dodgers or somebody in the Dodgers ownership has some sort of a shady dealings going on somewhere with some hedge fund, with some money market, a la the Mets and Madoff, that allow them to do all of that deferred money shit that they were doing with Bonilla. And so I wonder what's going on with the Dodgers where they are deferring all of this money, because clearly they're not in the business of losing money. So they think that this is the way to go. So I want to give Ohtani and his team credit, but I also do want to point out that the other large star for the Dodgers, Mookie Betts, also has a significant chunk of deferred money in his contract that's helping out the team as well.
But you said like Mookie's is only like 100 mil. Well, 100 mil is 100 mil, but it's 100 mil. Ohtani's is $680 million. So
it's a big nut.
Bro, imagine you about to sign the deal of your lifetime, and it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna give you only $2 million a year. Like I feel like it had to come from his camp or him or his camp. Like, oh yeah, like let's do this deferment, and we'll take as low, because for any person to take that much, that low of a salary a year, it's crazy. It's unheard of. 2 million. Like, okay, he was due 70. All right, let's get 35, and you defer the other 35, so like that you get the 350 at the back end. But he's deferring pretty much everything and getting just above. Well, the minimum is like almost $1 million, but basically he's getting paid like he's in his first year of arbitration.
That's a fact. But
that's
also,
right there.
now here is the Bob Nightingale tweet, right? Where it's like, all right, he's leaving money on the table, but is he really leaving money on the table? Because, and we'll read from Bob Nightingale here, who tweeted this a couple of hours ago. Shohei Ohtani's decision to earn just $2 million a year is certainly a great benefit to the Dodgers payroll, but also a stroke of genius for tax repercussion if he is not living in California once his deferred payments start, and as soon as he retires, he's getting the fuck out of America. Why? Who? Right. I mean, he's getting the fuck out of here, right? But so if he's not living in California once his first two payments start, he will not be subjected to heavy California tax. So on top of being the greatest ball player that we've probably ever seen, he is also guilty of tax fraud.
I mean, just like 3/4 of the 1%. So
Look, I will say, and I do agree, and I'm a big, hey, pay your fair share of taxes. But I'm also the guy who, when I'm doing my taxes, I want to pay as little taxes as possible, right? So I get that, but I don't want to sound xenophobic at all, right? But there's something that doesn't sit right with me about a foreign national coming to America, making damn near $1 billion, and then not having to pay their fair share of taxes and getting to go back home and get that back. I think that's a kind of a crazy loophole that I think now. And you know what? Admittedly, I'm speaking from ignorance because I don't know what he has to. I'm sure he's going to pay some sort of taxes.
Yeah, he has to pay
I don't know what that is for non-citizens that make their bag here but live in their native land. But I imagine it's less significant than what somebody living in California would have to pay. And so I think we kind of got to fix that a little bit, right? That's a but that's a political thing that we don't need to get into.
You can't knock the hustle
I
because
cannot knock the hustle. I would do the same thing.
yeah, because he was originally like I had seen something someone posted was like if he would have played out the contract, 70 mil a year, like out of the 70 mil, he would have saw like 350 like out of it. So like I'm pretty sure he's not gonna pay the state tax, but he probably gotta pay federal tax and he's gonna pay maybe like 100 mil out. I don't know. I'm just throwing out numbers. I'm not a tax, accountant. So but like, probably like 100 mil. So he's saving like 150 mil, something like that. I'm assuming because California and New York have the heaviest tax bracket. So yeah, but it's smart on his end. Because he gets all his. I mean, he's one of the biggest stars in the U.S. Imagine how big he is in Japan with all his endorsements. So he could live off his endorsements, and then like anything he gets after this is gonna be for his family. Like that's how he's gonna build a wealth. Like. Right. He's not rich. Right. He's wealthy. Like he's gonna build generational wealth with the 500+ million that he's gonna get.
No, and absolutely. I mean, just like Nightingale says, a stroke of genius. And so I'll meet you halfway, Juan. Right. So if this was something that was proposed by the Ohtani team, right, and so we have no reason to believe that the Ohtani team didn't come up with the structure. I certainly have to believe that they knew about the Mookie Betts deal, and so they maybe felt that hey, the Dodgers more so than some other teams, and we ultimately want to end up in LA with the Dodgers. I think we're all clear on that this is where he wanted to be from the beginning, and so I think that they knew hey, they've done deferred payments with Mookie Betts. They may be amenable to this type of a structure. So I think that so in that sense. They met the Dodgers halfway. I think that's dope. And then one of the questions that I had, and I think a lot of people kind of had that was like, damn, $680 million of $700 million deferring that seems kind of beast. Like that seems like that's not legal, right? I think I hit the group chat. How's this even legal? And so Jeff Passan, shout out to Jeff Passan, the God. He came out and said. For anyone wondering, yes, I was wondering, Jeff, if the MLB will challenge or cancel Ohtani's contract. The answer is unequivocally no. There is a specific article in the collective bargaining agreement that addresses this, and it's very clear. Deferred money is limitless, even 680 of 700 million. Limitless. And there you see the screenshot from the CBA. And shout out to the Players Association for the MLB, again, showing why they are the strongest union in the world. And that is not hyperbole. They are the strongest union in the world. They consistently get their rank and file the best deals. And I mean, this is, if you're somebody that can defer, X amount of your contract and not have it hurt your day-to-day lifestyle, this is just a beautiful deal. So shout out to the Dodgers for making the deal. Shout out to Ohtani and his team for putting it together. And look, man, Ohtani in LA, as much as we would love to see him in New York with either team, honestly, him in LA, that's box office, that's big, that's great for the sport. And he's prime time, man. Dude, we saw him in the WBC. He does not shrink in the big moment. So for all the shit that I like to talk, hey, he ran from the smoke. He didn't want to come to New York. Dude's gonna play a lot of primetime games, and he's gonna be in the thick of things. And I wouldn't be worried about his ability to handle that at all.
No, I think he doesn't. He's not scared of the limelight. I feel like in the game. But I feel like he doesn't want like the center of attention everywhere else. Like,
extra shit. He don't want the extra shit.
He just want to pull up, bust ass, and just go home and get his bread, like Mike Trout type shit. But on another level.
He don't want the dude from the post tailing him and seeing where he's going, and if he's getting his dick sucked on Madison, he don't want all of that shit. Not that he would be engaged in such shenanigans, but I'm just saying he does not want the details of his personal life outside of baseball, kind of fodder for the press. Now, I will say, good luck. I mean, you're going to LA. TMZ is right there, King. Like TMZ gonna be on your ass, but it's still not New York. And so I think from that standpoint, and it's just it's a short flight home, right? It's only 7 hours compared to double that if he was in New York. And it's just the lifestyle. It's just, if you've ever been to LA, it's laid back, it's chill, and so it seems to fit his personality. And so for that reason, I'm happy for him, man. And so I look forward to watching him, hit next year and then come back in 2025 and be the two-way star that we love to watch because I have the baseball package and I watch a lot of West Coast games, especially now with the baby. I'm gonna be up. I love it. I want to see it. I like it. I love it. I want more of it. All right, so that's Shohei Ohtani, $700 million with the Dodgers also deferred, and I think at this point we could stop making fun of the Mets and Bobby Bonilla. Nah, we never gonna stop making fun of the Mets and Bobby
Nah,
Bonilla.
it's
We never
different.
gonna stop that.
I'm glad you brought that up though, because with the Bonilla, like everyone's like, oh yeah, like Bonilla got deferred money, but the reason why Bonilla got deferred money, a lot of people forget, is like because the Mets couldn't pay him. They owed him, what was it, like almost $6 million, and because of the Madoff stuff, like they couldn't pay him, so they agreed to pay him $1 million a year for the next 25 years. So basically, he turned $5 million into $25 million.
Hustler shit.
Every July 1st is Bobby Bonilla Day, which is like we get to troll all the Mets fans because of that.
And that's not gonna stop. And that's not gonna stop. Bobby Bonilla and Shohei Ohtani not the same. Don't do it.
Nope.
We still getting these jokes off, Mets fans.
Because Shohei did it the first 700 to get 900. He's the first 700 to get 680. So he's still getting the same amount. Whether he's paying less taxes or not, he's still getting the same amount. Bobby Bonilla he turned 5 into 25. He flipped it times 5.
That's a fact. That's a bar too. Flipped it. All right, so there we go. We did it on Ohtani. We got the little dig in at the Mets fans. Shout out to the Mets fans. Hey, I keep telling Mets fans, come up here, power with me, pull up, open floor. Open floor. They're like, back, I don't know. Damn it.
All they could talk about is Cohen's wallet. That's it.
Jokes.
That's the only thing they could do.
These jokes. That's it. Cohen's wallet. I tell you, Cohen's wallet ain't really, has not borne the fruit that we thought it would as quickly as we thought. So, all right. But enough of the Mets, enough of Ohtani. We're Yankee fans, right? And so obviously the news came out today. Jack Curry, news actually leaked a couple of days ago that prized a free agent pitcher. Obviously now the biggest name left on the board now that his fellow countryman has signed, and that is Mr. Yamamoto. And so a source with knowledge of the Yankees interaction, and I'm reading from Jack Curry, yes, at Jack Curry, yes. A knowledge of the Yankees' interaction with Yamamoto said they remain optimistic about their pursuit of the free agent pitcher. It's a crumb of info, so he is sharing the crumb, but he wants us to stay tuned. And so I did stay tuned, and he popped on the Yes Network. Shout out to the Yes Network. So I will share this, and let's take a look at what Jack Curry had to say about the Yankees and their meeting with Yamamoto.
I'm going to start with Yamamoto. Not saying that Soto is old news or anything like that, but we have to talk about what we know and what's in front of us, and we know that the Yankees.
Oh, shit.
He's met with Yamamoto, their top executives today, meeting with him in California. And you can imagine how that meeting unfolded. The Yankees, I'm sure, telling Yamamoto how he fits with them, why he fits with them, talking about their legacy and what their organization has accomplished. Obviously referring to Japanese players before him who have also succeeded, Matsui and Tanaka and Kuroda, and trying to make sure that they can recruit the free agent pitcher who they desperately want to make part of their rotation. I spoke to someone who is familiar with what happened in this interaction, and they described the Yankees as feeling very positive about their pursuit of Yamamoto. There are other teams involved. We don't know where the contract is going to go, but it is going to go north of $200 million. But the Yankees feel confident in their abilities to be able to sign Yamamoto.
It's amazing how quickly things change, right? You bring in Juan Soto, you congratulate yourself, you talk about it for a little bit, and then quickly it's what is our other
It's on to the next one,
need?
right?
And the Yankees clearly have a need in their rotation. So they go out to California. They're going to try to give their pitch to Yamamoto. But the question is, what does he want to do? Where does he want to play?
All right, Flash. And shout out to the Yes Network. I don't want to, belabor the point and play their audio here on stream, but that is courtesy of the Yes Network via their Twitter feed. So we're not bootlegging anything. We are just sharing free use. And so what do you think about what we just heard from Jack Curry? They had a good conversation. They feel like they made their pitch. And after the conversation, they remained confident in their ability to sign the player. It sounds like a lot of nothing, but what do you think?
So prior to today, I thought we had a strong chance of getting Yamamoto just because of the pitch and everything. And I felt like the only biggest competition was maybe the Mets. And I thought we had a leg up on them just because of our historic franchise. And usually we're back. Yankees are back, and we're not afraid to spend. Cashman is opening the checkbook. I feel like, and he knows that we need to make a big splash. And then after that Ohtani whole debacle with his contract deferral, I'm like, fuck. Now the Dodgers got all this bread where they can afford to spend another 30 mil or 35 mil a year to pay Yamamoto. So it kind of changed my whole perspective on it. But just with the invite and the meeting, I feel like, when you walk into that Mecca in Yankee Stadium and you see everything, you see all those trophies and you see all the historic players, the Hall of Famers, it has to give you chills in your body. And you got to want to be a part of this historic franchise. And I'm sure in Japan, everybody knows who the Yankees are. And our name holds weight.
Yankee caps everywhere.
Everywhere. Everywhere you go, people know who the Yankees are. So he want to be about it. And Godzilla, I'm sure, helped him out, help recruit him. Tanaka, Kuroda, we need those guys to help bring him here, bring him home. And he could be, I know he said he wanted to play with other Japanese players, but why not be your own man and run your own team as far as marketing Japan? You got Ohtani marketing the Dodgers, you got Singa marketing the Mets, and you could have you marketing the Yankees. So that's how I see it. I feel like the biggest threat is the Dodgers, but if not, he can sign with the Yankees.
Yeah, I think it's going to be between the Dodgers and Yankees/Mets. And I'm curious to know. I don't know if you know this one because I don't. I'm curious to know the relationship between Yamamoto and Ohtani. I know there's definitely an age gap, right? There's an age difference between the two. I mean,
it's 4 years, yeah.
Okay,
Ohtani's
have they competed against each other in Japan, or was he already?
I don't know. Well, because if he's 20, so that means Yamamoto would have the last time Ohtani was in Japan was 6 years ago. So he was 23, and then Yamamoto had to have been 18 or 19. So maybe it's more a brother, mentorship kind of thing. But they played in the WBC together, and they seemed close. And then unless that could be another reason why Ohtani deferred the money, so that they can ensure that they can sign Yamamoto. So it's bro, I'm gonna take this deferment.
That's scary.
Or you gotta throw my.
You gotta get my man.
You gotta get my man back.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
Right. And then if that's the case, then nobody really has a chance to sign him, right?
Yeah.
Because I think for Major League Baseball, though, right? I think it would be pretty fly to have Ohtani on the West Coast, Yamamoto, Senga on the East Coast, and you got both coasts, helping to push that global brand of baseball out there with through these great Japanese ball players that have come over. So I think from a business perspective, I would imagine MLB quiet as kept. they'll never say it, but maybe if you gave him truth serum, I think they would prefer, or they would hope that he would go to one of the New York teams or an East Coast team just to get some balance, right, on the Japanese market and what's going on there. But in terms of what I think this means, just like you, before the news came out of the deferred payments, I was 99% sure that Yamamoto was going to be a Yankee. I didn't think anybody would outbid us, outbid the Yankees, and I still think that that's the case. I still think that there'll be I think the Yankees will match within reason whatever it's going to take to get him to sign. So then it's ultimately going to be, where do you want to play? And if he wants to play with Ohtani, like if they're boys, they're buddies, and he's like, yo, I want to go play with my man, then nobody's got a shot.
Yeah.
But if he's looking at it like, yo, I fuck with Ohtani, but I'm the man and I want to do my thing. And so, yeah, it'd be great to play with other Japanese players, but we got the WBC for that, right? I got the WBC. I just want to chip with my man. Now I'm going to come here, I do what I do. And, in 2 or 3 years, WBC will be back around and we could be boys again. So maybe that's how. So if he's looking at it like that, then I think he comes to New York. But if he's like, yo, that's my man, I want to play with him, especially I've never played in America before, so maybe there'd be that comfort level of having Ohtani as a teammate. It worries me, man. I mean, if the Dodgers get him, they can't do all this to get fucking swept in the NLDS, right? I mean, that can't happen, right? And they're going to be the most hated team. Like, I mean,
they are the most hated team.
They already are. They already are.
They got like the freaking dream team almost. So it's like they have a super team, and it's not that it's not fair because they're doing it all legally, but it's like, fuck, like what else do you got to do? And I'm glad they're in the National League because them and the Braves got to cancel each other out, and they're only one of them to make the World Series. So we only got to be one of them. But
that's it.
That shit is a scary, not in 2025. Imagine if Yamamoto and Ohtani's there, and you got Walker Buehler. Like, you got you got 3 legit aces, like, pitching in the staff. Plus, you got 3 of the top 10 players on your lineup. So it's scary. I hope he signs with the Yankees. If he doesn't sign with the Yankees, I'm not as upset because I mentioned this last time I was on that I feel it'll be a lot easier for us to re-sign Soto, and I feel like Soto is more detrimental to the Yankees than Yamamoto will be because of like what he brings. And I don't think that they would want to like sign. Not that they can't, but like they would sign both.
Yeah, we mentioned it on the other pod. Where I feel like I don't think that's a consideration because I think just like Ohtani, you kind of take a Yamamoto and you put him in his own bucket, and you almost don't even consider him as part of your payroll and your return because he's going to generate just on his own so much tangible return of investment that it's not going to cover the cost of it, but it's certainly going to make it a lot easier of a nugget to swallow. Pause. So I don't think that's a concern, especially if you're the Yankees and you see what the fuck's going on in this landscape. You see the Dodgers, you see the Mets. You got to get out here, move and shake a little bit too. And so signing a Yamamoto can't stop you from getting a Soto, especially when Yamamoto is going to bring back X amount, right? And so, and just going back to Ohtani, and it ties into Yamamoto too, right? Like when we're talking about these types of guys and these big numbers, $700 million, $400 million plus posting for Yamamoto, right? Like I am quite positive that these billionaire owners and these just mega businessmen, men, when they are presenting up a contract of $700 million for one player, somewhere in that office, there's a spreadsheet, there's a prospectus, there's a PowerPoint deck, there is some sort of forecast that says, hey, this $700 million investment over this amount of time is going to bring back in excess of a B.
Yeah.
And so, you're not going to see it right away. You're going to have to take a little luxury tax hits and all of that bullshit. But this money that's coming in on the other side, you ain't got to share with nobody, King. And that's coming right in, and that's going to line the coffers, and it's going to make the pill a bit easier to swallow. Pause. So
and that's without winning a chip. Like that's just all extra bread.
That's just on the straight.
If you win a chip, it's even double.
Yeah, and the wild shit is the most amount of money you're gonna make is when you have that player in your employ, right? So and so if you defer most of that contract, so now off that $2 million that I'm paying him, I'll be clipsing that of what I'm bringing in. And so if I'm smart with my money and I do the right things, which we know these billionaires are smart with their money and they do the right things, they're gonna be all right. So I'm not, so going back to the Yankees and Yamamoto and Soto, if you get a Yamamoto and you're smart and you do the right things business-wise, he should not be preventative from you getting anybody else. Now, if you're talking about, somebody else, then yeah, maybe, because they don't have that same tangible return of investment, right? Like Aaron Judge is a draw, right? Like we all agree Aaron Judge is the biggest draw the Yankees have right now. Ticket sales, people show up, asses in the seats, there's the judges' chambers, but there's not the amount of tangible return that the Yankees see from a Judge. You cannot compare that to what they would see with a Yamamoto with all the Japanese kind of interest coming in. So, all right, there's that. So, we hope, we pray, we wish for Yamamoto. So hopefully we get in the next couple of days Yamamoto under Juan's Christmas tree in the background there. That'll be a nice little nugget for him to open up on Christmas morning.
My Christmas be complete.
Right? That is a fact.
Yamamoto be complete.
Yamamoto 2024, baby. That's the ticket. That is the ticket. All right, man. Let's get into some other baseball news. Unfortunately, we have an injury to talk about, and I wish we had a Met fan up here. Obviously, this impacts the Mets, but we're baseball fans over here, so we're big fans, especially of the kids that come up, especially the Dominican studs. You know me, I'm honorary Dominican, so the studs that do come up, we like to support them and watch them, especially in the Winter League, right? And so, unfortunately, and so I'm going to bring up our good man Andy Martino, his post here. So, according to a source, Ronny Mauricio, I don't want to mispronounce the young man's name, but he suffered a knee injury in the Dominican Winter League on Sunday, and he's likely to travel to be examined by the Mets doctors. Hey, yo, get a second and get a third opinion. Do not just listen to the Met doctors. I'm just saying.
They have a history. They have a not good history.
They got a little bit of. Hey, look, and we shouldn't have room to talk because we trotted out a guy for 3.5 months with a fucking concussion. His brain had a bruise. He couldn't swing. He didn't know what day it was. And we
traded for two hurt guys. So yeah.
And we traded for two hurt guys, right? So let's but still, Mets do have a history of this sort of thing. But I want to play the injury that happened here, right? So is this it here? Actually, first, and this is really sad because he was the MVP of the Winter League last year, right? And apparently he was off to a phenomenal start. And so before he got hurt, he was raking.
Gobierno de la República Dominicana, lo logramos juntos.
¡Ese pico de ahí! ¡A lo profundo por el left field! ¡Back, back, back, back! ¡Way back, señores! ¡Quítense del medio! ¡Quítense del medio porque ahí vienen los Tigres del Licey! Wissenberry, te lo dije.
Only say, and that call is that call was amazing. John Sterling,
that's the PR Winter League. They got the best.
That's energy, bro.
Yeah, you got to go to a game out there, bro. We got to go to a game, man.
I have to. Well, Yo, our brother Raul keeps saying, yo, I'm gonna take you. We gonna go. We out. You know what I mean? I'm the mayor out there. Raul's the mayor. Yo,
Bro, you gotta show us up, man. Let's go, man. That shit is the
Yeah,
best.
we gotta go. Yo, and honestly, now that we're doing the pod, you know what I mean? I can tell wifey, look, listen, this is an important thing for the pod. We gotta grow the pod. We got a fan base in DR. It's business purposes. Yes. No, but I'm definitely down to take a group trip to see some winter ball because, like I said, when I went to the WBC, best baseball I've ever seen, and I've been to, I've been to a pennant clinching playoff game, and it didn't compare to the WBC, and I mean that shit is lit from everything I see in the WBC or in the Winter League. And so where is I thought I had
You just had
a
it right
shorter.
there. Right there.
Yeah, here it is. So here's our guys. Shout out to Shane Sons podcast. We not haters up here, huh? We not haters up here. We shout out everybody. But hold on, I just want to pause this and let's take a look at the injury because whenever it's a non-contact knee injury, it's serious. So let's take a look at the young man here. Oh,
right.
It's like he thought better of it. Went to stop. Went to kind of pivot, and I mean he can't put any weight on it.
He walked off,
that
though.
is just. Oh, he did walk off on his own power. Okay, he walks off under his own power. But I mean that just looks bad. Let's take a look at that one more time. Bop, and then it's a plant trying to come back. He slips. Ooh. Ooh. So obviously we know that we don't know the extent of the injury. That doesn't look good. But he did mention he walks off under his own power. He's a hockey player. Dude is tough. I'll give him that because I mean I would have been curled up in a fetal position, crying for mommy. If my knee kind of just bent that way. But he's a tough dude. He's walking off under his own power. Here's the replay again in slow motion, and he goes to stop. And
hoping is a sprain, man. I'm hoping it's a sprain.
Yes, yeah. We hope it's a sprain. Yeah, I mean he's obviously.
I don't like the Mets, but I don't wish nobody any injuries, man. Because that's just
right, and me, I don't hate the Mets. I root for the Mets. What is it? 158 games out of 162. The only time I don't root for the Mets is when the 4 games they play the Yankees. Any other time, I'm rooting for the Mets. And so I love seeing the kids play. I love seeing the kids come up and excel. And so obviously he is one of the highly touted prospects. So he made his major league debut last year. So I know that the city had super high hopes for him. So that's a tough thing. And so for the Mets, they're gonna have to deal with whatever the ramifications of this injury. Obviously, we hope it's just a sprain, and he misses very little, if any, time. But if this is a significant injury, like an ACL, UCL tear, or UCL is the elbow, but if it's an ACL or one of the CLs in the leg, right? If it's something where it's going to require some sort of a surgery and he's going to miss a significant, if not the entire season, what does this do to the prospect of sending your top touted young players, Dominican born especially, players who want to go and play winter ball? What does this do to the prospect of seeing those guys go and play winter ball? And then, so does this hurt the Dominican League being able to get the stars? And in a couple of years, does this hurt the WBC?
I don't think so. Just because Ronnie's young, so I know it may hurt them getting veteran players or people who have are real professionals. Not saying he's not professional, but he's still a rookie and he's still he was up and down in the minors. So once you have you need, in my opinion, you're competing in the AA, AAA, in the high A's. But when you go to DR, you're playing other major league players or just as good as the double A or triple A's that you're traveling with. So you're getting more exposure, and you're playing year round. And most of these guys from DR, they're all used to playing year round, and they like that environment, and they want to play for their country or their cities. They're like Licey is from the capital, so it's like they want to represent where they're from. And I feel like when you're younger, you're more open to always playing in these games. But as you become a certified like star, like you tend to just show up and play a few games, but you don't go as hard just because you want to like represent, but you don't want to get hurt. But when you're a young stud, like you're trying to show up because you want the Mets or any of your team to notice how well you're doing, and two, you want to be a superstar and represent your city. And then three, also you're trying to show everyone else that you're ready for the show. So like I guess he's trying to like do that as well. And when you're young, you feel like you untouchable, like you can't get hurt and everything. So it's an unfortunate injury. Hopefully, it's just a sprained knee or something. He's out a few weeks and he's good enough to come back when spring training starts. As far as the WBC, I feel like that's something different. It may affect WBC because that's where more stars are playing. And we've been seeing like, Altuve got hurt for a long period of time, and then the whole Edwin Diaz thing. So I know there's a few Yankees, and it was like in their contracts that not to play. And I feel like it was more based on their history of having injuries. So they didn't want them to like to re-injure anything or just because they're injury prone. Like I wouldn't suggest Stanton being in the WBC because, bro, you can't even round the bases without fucking breaking your hip or some shit. So like if people are more durable, then I'll give them a more extended leash. And I feel like with the WBC, they need to be more tougher on the pitching because that's what takes more of the toll than like hitters and people that are running because you haven't built up the arm strength and the stress.
Well, and I agree. So it's interesting that you hear that. I hear you say that certain players have it in their contracts that they're not able to go play. I'd have to see that because I know that this is an MLB initiative. The WBC, unlike the winter baseball, the WBC is a Major League Baseball initiative. It is it is pushed by Manfred and the commissioner's office as a part the driving force of expanding the game globally. And I know I've read that they have been very stern with teams about telling them not to block their star players. So I would think that I find it hard to believe that there is actual language in the contracts, but that could very well be the case. Now I do know that teams do have the right to I think there may be a certain number of players that you have the right to say, hey, I strongly urge you not to.
Yeah.
But I wonder if they could actually put it in the contract, like, hey, for as long as you are signed with my organization, you can't play in the WBC, only because it's a Major League Baseball sanctioned thing. I don't think MLB would allow that.
No, you're probably right. It's more of like because I think you're gonna need to ask permission from the team, kind of like you get the blessing.
Correct.
And it's like, bro, like you just hear back from Tommy John, or like you just have this like let's focus more on you recovering than you trying to like.
Yeah, I think games. Like I think last year, if left to his own devices, I think Aaron Judge would have loved to play for Team USA last year. But I think because he had just signed the deal, there was probably some talk of, hey, listen, we're making the captain, we're making this big thing. In 4 years, if you want to go play, you can play. And I think he said something like that, like, hey, maybe in 4 years I'll play, but I wanted to focus on, coming in and getting ready for my duties with the Yankees this year. So I think it's more so like that, kind of under the table, like, hey, wink, wink, waddle doodle, we're giving you this money, chill out, don't go, chill the fuck out, type deal. But In terms of winner ball, I think that you can explicitly put in, hey, big dog, you're not going over there. Now, to your point, it's usually it's usually young kids, guys that are, on the bubble of making the MLB roster, right? Whether they're highly touted prospects or not. In this case, we have a highly touted prospect, but guys that are not yet fully established major leaguers, right? But I mean, we've heard rumblings of guys like Soto going and playing, right? Like Soto's played in the winter league, right?
Yeah, no, he's played. He's
But
played.
to your point, right? And to your point, right? They go in. He'll probably go in and get a couple of innings. He hits a ground ball to the right side. He's not busting it out the box. He's gonna take his time and he's gonna do what he has to do to protect his body, but still go in and try to give the fans a show and do the little Soto shuffle and hit a bomb if he can, right? But I would think that teams would be more wary of that and be more vocal, especially if this injury turns out to be um, fairly significant. So hopefully, knock on wood, that's not the case. And we wish him a speedy recovery. We hope to see him in New York next year for sure. All right. I think so. I've only got one more topic on the docket that we could talk about whatever you want, or we can wrap it. Shout out to anybody who's tapped in during the live. Shout out to anybody who will catch this stream, tomorrow, next day, next year, 30 years from now, 100 years from now, whenever you're watching this. We do appreciate you tapping in with us. So we'll circle back to the Yankees. The Yankees and the Dodgers made a little bit of a deal. So with the signing of Shohei Ohtani, the Dodgers before they can make it official, had to make some room on the 40-man roster. So they needed to get rid of a couple of players. The Yankees, because we've kind of gotten rid of so many pitchers with the Verdugo deal, with the Soto deal, and then the Rule 5 draft, we lost some pitchers or some players. We had some space on our 40-man, and so they got together and made a deal. And so, the Dodgers said, hey, we need to give you a couple of guys from our 40-man. We said, absolutely, we'll take Betts and Freeman. Thank you very much. They said no. And so the deal, unfortunately, did not include Betts or Freeman coming to the Yankees. So let's take a look at what the deal is. I think I have it somewhere here. Give me a second to find it on my Twitter here. So I will pop it here, right? And so there we go. There we have it. Shout out to Legacy. I guess somebody's an Utley fan there. But to make room on the 40-man roster, the LA Dodgers have made the following trade with the New York Yankees. So the Dodgers receive the New York Yankees number 8 prospect, shortstop Trey Sweeney. Side note, I saw Trey Sweeney play for the Hudson Valley Renegades earlier. I think it was last year. I saw him play for the Hudson Valley Renegades. At the same time, I saw he was there with Jason Dominguez. I took my son Dante. We went to go see The Martian, and we also saw your boy Trey Sweeney. So, and he's a good little player, slick fielder, and obviously highly thought of within the Yankee organization. He's a top 10 prospect in our organization. So we send him to LA, and obviously there's no clear path for Trey Sweeney within the Yankee organization, with shortstop kind of being locked down with Anthony Volpe. So with the surplus of infielders that we do have, we figured, hey, you know what? We'll trade for some strength, trade from strength, and we received back their LA's number 10 prospect. So we replenish an infielder that we lost. We give up our number 8 prospect. We get their number 10 prospect. So a couple of top 10 prospects within the respective organization. Infielder Yorbit Vivas, and then we also get a left-handed relief pitcher Victor Gonzalez. And so obviously the Yankees are in need of bullpen help, bullpen arms, and the Yankees, to their credit, do have a track record and a history of kind of finding these, run-of-the-mill reliever guys and turning them into really solid back end reliable bullpen dudes. So hopefully that happens with Victor Gonzalez. We'll see what Vivas does as he continues his journey to the show. But what do you think about this deal overall with the Dodgers and the Yankees kind of getting together and putting in some work?
I like it. After doing looking into all the prospects, I like it a lot. Just because I feel like Gonzalez, he replaces Wandy. So is the left-handed pitcher that we need. Last year, I mean, he had I think a 4 ERA, but he only had a 220 batting average against. So that's pretty good, pretty decent. And then the best part is for next year, he's only going to be paid $1 million. So Wandy would have, if we would have tried to re-sign him, it would have been 5 to 6. That's what he would be ranging. And Gonzalez, we still have him for 3 more years. So that, he's we have him. If he's producing, we can keep him in the big leagues. If not, we could send him back to the minors and then bring him back up if we need him. But I like that. And then I feel like Vivas, he slides in and he becomes our number 10 prospect. I was looking at this the prospect list. So basically, we lose Sweeney, who was number 8, and then we get Vivas, which is number 10. So he's only 2 swaps down. And Vivas can play second and third, which is something, in a few years that we may need him if he ever pans out. So we're building more depth, depending on LeMahieu and GT, and then we don't know with Peraza, what's going to happen with him. So that is some depth along the lines. If it pans out, then it works out for us. And Sweeney is more, not to say he's more major league ready, but he's just more, he's a higher draft pick because we got him, I think, in the first round 3 years ago or something. So that's the reason why he's highly covered it because of that, because he's a first round pick. But he has, so he might be ready for the show sooner than later, but we don't really have any space for him at the moment. So that, we're pivoting and bringing someone else that we may need in 2 or 3 years as opposed to next year kind of thing. So I like it.
Yeah, yep, I agree. I like it. I think, and this is one of these under the radar kind of deals that don't generate a lot of publicity and press, but that Cashman has really been good at in his tenure, right? We give Cashman a lot of shit. We give him a lot of backlash, and rightfully so. But I want to give him his flowers for these types of deals, right? Where hey, we've got a Wandy replacement that we think can be as serviceable or hopefully a bit better for cheaper. And then we are turning one of our prospects who is currently blocked by one of our other prospects, turning him into somebody else that may down the line be able to be a serviceable infielder for us. So I think that that it makes all the sense in the world. I'm happy it got done, and I would have liked Freeman and Betts, but you kind of gotta you kind of gotta take what you can get. But I think this is a really good. This is a solid deal. I think we can see some upside, and I would just challenge the one point that this has to be Wandy's replacement. I think I was looking at our current bullpen right now. Even when you slot in the lefty that we just got, Gonzalez, right? Even when you slot him in there, I think he's still find room for Wandy, right? And obviously, his contract is he's gonna command significantly more. And so that's a conversation that Cash and the guys are going to have about what they want to allocate to the bullpen. But I definitely, and who knows, maybe if we don't get Yamamoto, we might have to pivot to the power bullpen. Maybe Wandy is back in play there. But speaking of the bullpen, I mean, this is obviously a piece in the bullpen, a lefty arm. But what else are they going to do, right? I mean, I've been a big proponent of going out and getting Hader. It doesn't sound like they're going to do that. What are what's out there for the Yankees relief wise, right? I mean, is there anything out there, or is Cashman going to have to kind of wheel and deal and try to find the diamond in the rough,
I
type
think
deal.
I think we may have to find the diamond in the rough, just because
But he's been good at that.
He has,
good at
because
that.
if you look
Bullpen
at
wise.
Wandy, the Mets gave him away for free. We
Yeah.
took the closer. We got him for the Pirates. Dumped him. We took we do a good job of like finding the
Really
diamond
good
in the
job
rough.
about that.
But like the last 3 years, we've gave away our whole farm almost. Like, half of our farm with a lot of trades that we did. The Gallo trade, the Montas trade, the Soto trade, like all these trades that we did. What other
Verdugo.
trade? Verdugo trade. So it's like we've gotten rid of a lot of. We have excess catchers and shortstops, and we had a good actually like pitching depth, and like we depleted it just to like try to make these moves. So we need to do a better job in replacing all these people. And this is not that this is a start, because we gained a relief pitcher and basically swapped the shortstop for another utility infielder. But I like where they're thinking, and they're trying to like take advantage of the situation. The Dodgers needed to make room, and we basically got more out of the trade than they did.
Yep, that's a fact. I think, and so you know what? I think the Yankees fleeced the Dodgers, and so play my music. Brian Cashman, what up?
It may not mean nothing to y'all.
Big Brian, Big Cash.
Nothing was done for me, so I don't plan on stopping at all. I want this shit forever, mine, ever mine, ever mine. I shut this shit down in the mall and telling that girl she the one for me, and I ain't even planning to call. I want this shit forever, mine, ever mine, ever mine.
All right. So that is so big up to Brian Cashman. He is having a hell of an offseason. And this is a really big offseason, I think, right now for his legacy, because his back has been squarely against the wall. So, but he's off to a good start. We like what he is doing. So we don't have many complaints right now about what the Yankees are doing. So, you know what? We've been rocking out for over an hour. That is everything on my list. Juan, is there anything on your heart, on your soul, on your spirit that you want to use the platform to get off here? You want to shoot a shot at any of the ladies out there? What we doing?
Nah. I had a question. We were talking about the whole Ohtani Dodgers thing, and then like who you think has the best big three? Like, how we talk about it in basketball, right? So like in baseball, like who you got the best big three? Now that the Dodgers got Freeman, Ohtani, and Betts, the Braves got Acuna, Riley, and who else they got? Riley. Who else the Braves got? And Olsen. And then the Yankees got Soto, Judge, with Cole.
Cole, right? But then, do you put the position pitch, or do you put the starting pitch, right? Because if you want to go, Judge, Soto, Cole, then you can make a case that the Yankees have a big three. Otherwise, the Yankees really don't have a big three at the moment. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to Dodgers. I'm going to Dodgers just because, Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman, those are all just box office studs. I mean, just you already know what you already have an expectation of what the back of the baseball card is going to look like. With some of the other guys, they're established, but Acuna's still young, right? Like you can see some regression to the mean, right? I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but you can see it, right? I mean, you can see that happening. We're splitting hairs here, but for me, I think it'll be I'd go with the Dodgers. I go Freeman, Betts, Ohtani, and that's literally their 1, 2, and 3 in the order, right? It's Betts, Ohtani, Freeman. Yeah, good luck. Yeah, top of the first. It's all you. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Nobody out. You got a better chance of walking all 3 of them and then just getting 4, 5, 6 out.
Yeah, but then you got Will Smith right out. I mean,
you got Muncy, you got Lux.
Yeah, you got Hayward, who's making his he's having kind of a resurgence with LA there. Yeah, Yeah, the big three. It's the Dodgers. And so and because of that, you would hope that, and going back to our Yamamoto conversation, that you get some balance and you get Yamamoto going to one of the East Coast teams, because I think that's fire to have, multiple, kind of super teams, right? Multiple super teams, right? You could have the Yankees, you can have the Braves, you can have the Dodgers, all with just studs. So I would love to see that, and I'll be looking forward to the next couple of days with Yamamoto. If the Yankees don't get Yamamoto, who do they pivot to in the starting pitching thing? I mean, do you go? Do you kick the tires on Snell? Right, and it's so weird. I mean, he's the reigning Cy Young Award winner. You're like, hey, do you kick the tires on this guy?
I don't want
Monty.
Snell. He only pitches 5 innings. I'll take
everybody only pitches 5 innings.
Yeah, but he literally won the Cy Young and pitched 5 innings. Like, I've never seen that before. Yeah. Like that's the game. I would take I'll take a snag on Montas. Even though I hated him with the Yankees for $5 mil, whatever, $7 mil, I'll take.
Yeah, but that. Yeah, I would, but I'm talking about impact, right? Like you could sign Montas tomorrow and still be like, hey, we need to make another move. That's not you can't count on him. I'm talking about somebody that you sign and you can count on. This is an impact player, right?
I don't think there's anybody else out there that's worth it.
Monty, no,
because he's gonna get $200 mil.
Yeah, I mean the price tag is
Yamamoto money, pretty much a little bit less than Yamamoto.
Yeah, he's and I think for him to come back to the Yankees, hey, y'all gave up on me. I'm gonna need a little bit of a tax on that.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit of a tax on that.
So I don't know. I don't think there's anybody else out there, free agency wise. I mean, I'd rather build a bullpen and sign Jordan Hicks too. Like that's what the talks were. But I don't know if there's anyone else to sign. Monty may be the only one, but I don't know if we could get him for.
Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be that reunion. Just wishful thinking on my part.
And I think that's why Cashman is going so hard on Yamamoto, because they see it. They're like, right. We don't want to waste this bread, and it's like, damn, we want to spend, and we don't want to go dumpster diving on this and spend $200 million on a bum ass pitcher. Look at what we did with Rondon. Like that's what's going on.
Yeah, right. And speaking of Rondon, are we expecting a bounce back here?
I mean, he can't be any worse.
Can't be any worse, right? I mean, it's
I'll go out there and
regression to the mean.
Yeah, like come on, bro. His ERA was like, I don't even know, like 5. Like he ain't. Yeah, nah, you can't pitch any worse than that. And you want to be the number 2 starter? Like, come on. Like,
I'm with you.
Hopefully Cortez, gets healthy. Schmidt comes back and he's a solid number 3. Like, we have okay, but it's just injury. You can never prepare enough for injuries.
And I feel like even with all the bullshit that we've had, kind of we've been quiet as kept. Yankees, the pitching ain't been the issue. The starting pitching has not been the issue the last couple of years. You got Cole, and then you're able to piece it together with the rest of the guys. So yeah, so you know what, we'll keep our eyes peeled on the Yamamoto signings, any other signings that happen. We will be back next week to discuss it. Hopefully, Ari will be back and join us. But Juan, thank you once again for taking out some time, talking some shit. I always enjoy it. All right, man, we are out of here. You know what?
I'm predicting Bellinger to the Giants. That's my prediction.
Belly to the Giants. Belly to the Giants. You heard it here first. All right, you know what? I didn't normally I got a song to take us out, and I don't really got you know what? I really don't got one. So fuck it. Ain't no song to take us out. Appreciate y'all. This is Nighttime with Napo. My man Juan in the building. You can catch me on Twitter. Make sure you give me a follow at Eddie Baseball. Make sure you follow the YouTube channel. Give us a like, comment, subscribe, The Eddie Baseball. Or you can just type in, hello, can you hear me, the pod, or Nighttime with Napo. We will pop in. And the channel is growing. The channel is growing. We got our first 2,000 viewed video. It was a clip from our last pod one that we did. Where we talked about Aaron Judge's comments for Juan Soto. So please search the channel, run those numbers up, and find the rest of the videos. I promise you there are hidden gems there where, these guys are saying some really insightful and funny stuff. So tap in with us. So again, at Eddie Baseball on Twitter. At Eddie Baseball 0920 on Instagram. Hello, can you hear me? The pod is the movement. This has been Nighttime with Napo. I'm Eddie Knapp. My man Juan, appreciate you. And stay back here. I need you in post-prod.
Peace. Bye, everybody.